I'm just gonna wing my witches.
Yep, that's how I do it.
Wing it.
It's better than winging it.
Intro or me?
I got it. What's the episode?
269. Or not just 269. I don't know.
That's the question, isn't it, Geoff?
It's always the question, sir. Wait.
For today, right? 14?
Yeah, buddy. And we are definitely recording.
Hello. And
Hey, Jordan.
Welcome to the podcast. This podcast is called the Lobbycast. This is the official podcast of saying the word cast
I like it.
once in every sentence. Cast. This is episode 269 for the week of today, 14 April 2014. Or the 14th of April 2014.
Either way.
Either way is acceptable. My name is Jordan. This
I'm
week
Geoff.
I am joined by my brother Geoff. Thank you.
I'm Geoff.
Thanks for jumping the gun.
I do that from time to time.
Typically we start off with any news. Geoff, do you have any news?
I've got a couple of things. It's not a whole bunch. Winter Soldier is continuing to do well. For people who haven't seen it, you should definitely go check it out. We both enjoyed it quite a bit. As of this weekend, their global take has been hit 400 million.
Yeah.
Passing the original's total take by 30 million. So
Yeah. So
that's pretty impressive.
And they've only been out for what? This is just they're starting their
Third week. I think.
Yeah, it's their second or third week.
Yeah.
They may be like a week and a half in now or something like that. Yeah, it's gonna make some money. I mean, it could, once it hits Blu-ray and things like that, it could possibly gross $1 billion after all of that.
Oh yeah, I think that's possible for worldwide.
Yeah, and then $1 billion is a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
That's Dr. Evil kind of money.
It is. It is exactly Dr. Evil type of money.
Yeah. So that's exciting news. What else?
Let's see here. On live service still exists. A. B. They just dropped their subscription price for their service to $8 a month. So that's kind of cool. And their new feature, I don't know how new it is. Definitely new to me. I didn't know about it. That you can link it with your Steam account and play games on live, save the game, and
Go to
your computer and continue from there. So
that's impressive.
Yeah. Most impressive. Yeah. So that's about it. I don't have a whole lot of news this week.
God, yeah, it's been a light week for us. And Grant, we recorded Thursday or Friday. Yeah.
Friday?
No, Thursday. We recorded Thursday. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean it's just been a busy week, and
For sure.
I think it's really good that we're doing things.
It's been not so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. All right. Well, tell me all about whatever you've been listening to, sir.
I had a good week. Actually, today I was out running some errands, and I had a long drive, and I got to listen to a good chunk of not a good chunk of, but at least probably about an hour's worth of episode 1 of The Wrath of the Khans on Hardcore History. And
God, I love that one.
yeah,
I love all of them.
It's such a good series. I'm not sure which ones are my favorites. If it could be the Death Throes of the Empire when he's talking about the fall of Rome.
Yeah, I mean that's probably. I mean, if I had to pick a favorite, I think Death Throes of the Empire would be the one.
Yeah, I like what he's doing with World War I. It's just World War I and World War II. Those aren't my favorite times in history. I
Those aren't
think
your jam?
Yeah, I mean they're obviously very, very interesting, and I've spent a lot of time studying them. I just prefer things that are almost more mythical and fantastic, and
ancient Rome does fall into that.
Right, when you start talking about the mythos involving like their gods and stuff like that, it's just it has the potential to be something that is not quite historical, and you have the potential for fantasy, but at the same time, it's cool. It's historical.
It is très sweet.
Yeah, yeah. So I really enjoyed listening to that. I guess it was Saturday, I went for a very long run and got to enjoy some Blackmill, and I'm really trying to hone in on the long run music for me, and Blackmill is great, but it wasn't quite enough oomph to it. It was a little bit too chill step and not enough electro,
Chill step.
That's a thing.
Apparently that's a thing.
That's a thing. So, and it's not the best thing for running.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what I've been listening to this week. I mean, of course, there's always the shuffle all, some Gregory Alan Isaacoff, and Walk Off the Earth a little bit.
Gotta love the Walk Off the Earth.
Yeah. Oh, and Dragon Force. I listened to a ton of Dragon Force this week. I just wasn't feeling the normal piano music that I listened to at my desk. And, of course, I replaced it with Dragon Force, about as far away as you can get from it. And
you're getting strange looks at your desk?
I did. Somebody walked by. They're like, what's going on? I'm like, we're storming the burning fields. What are you doing?
What, is this a trick question?
Yeah. So if you don't listen to Dragon Force, you're wrong. Geoff, what have you been listening to?
Not Dragon Force, so apparently I'm wrong.
Yes, sir.
I've been listening to Feist, Mazzy Star, Portishead, Nitzareb, and then because of my Nitzareb radio channel, I found this thing called it's an Depeche Mode tribute album, and there's a volume 1 and a volume 2, and they're huge. They're both like 4 CDs, each one of them, and it's like industrial covers of Depeche Mode music.
I probably would like that a lot more than Depeche Mode music.
Right. So it's really interesting. So I've been listening to some of that. That's one. It's such a nice thing about Xbox Music. It's like you really can go down the rabbit hole with music, and you don't have to worry about running out of skips or not being able to access certain things. Like, ooh, this is interesting, and then you just follow it to its logical conclusion.
Right.
So it's pretty cool, and it's done by Alpha Matrix. I think it's Alpha Matrix, Depeche Mode Recovered, or Recovered, covered Depeche Mode Tribute, Volumes 1 and 2. If you're a fan of Depeche Mode or of industrial music...
Or
both. That's right. I can't rule that out. Then you should definitely give it a shot. It's pretty cool. And if you're not listening to Xbox Music, you're wrong. How about that, Jordan?
I do listen to Xbox Music.
So you're not wrong.
I am not wrong.
But that's it for me. I mean, I've been listening to the standard mix of stuff in the car. So probably some Mr. Scruff and Amy Winehouse and Storm in the Balls. Storm and her balls. The balls. Whatever.
Whatever. Shenanigans.
Right, let's go ahead and get into what you're watching, Jordan.
I have, on my list that I went ahead and written before the show. Hockey, Vikings.
Okay.
So for hockey, I watched San Jose and Anaheim, which is a good game, and it's like the first place and the second place in the Pacific.
Yeah.
Which is part of the Western Conference.
Yep.
And or no,
they could end up playing each other again in the
yes. So they are
semifinals.
each playing. So I believe Anaheim is playing the
Dallas Stars,
which are the wild card team, and San Jose is playing somebody else, and that's the third place team.
Right.
And the winners of each of those games will play. So they very well could potentially be playing each other again for the, I guess, semifinals for the conference, quarterfinals for the
Right.
conference,
Quarterfinals.
semifinals.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Yes.
the winner of
yes,
that game will
right.
be in the finals for that
Right.
for the conference, not for the Stanley Cup. Yeah, and watch the Avs. The Avs did not win their last game, but they did tie. They lost in overtime, which means they still got a point, which means they did finish the regular season in first place in their division after being in second to last place in the NHL last year.
Right. And the difference is Patrick Waugh.
The difference is Patrick Waugh and some of their young players. So what we're seeing is that the Avalanche is going to be a team to be reckoned with for a while,
Yeah.
for at least another 5 years.
Yeah.
And that's awesome because, I mean, their captain is in his early 20s, if that old. The captain of the team is much younger than me. One of their star players is 18. A couple of their star players are they're like 21.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Olympic gold and silver medalists.
Yep.
It's just awesome to me. So we have a young team. We have an awesome goalie who I think I finally decided what my Avs jersey is going to be, and it's going to be a Semyon Varlamov jersey.
The Russian.
Yeah, the number one. I'm really excited about that.
I was having a conversation with one of the guests at the bar yesterday that it's really interesting, that Patrick Waugh has been able to do so much with pretty much the same team as last year. And the coach who coached them last year couldn't do much with them, but he was the coach of the Olympic hockey team.
And they pulled silver, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they got silver or bronze.
Yeah.
And
they definitely medaled.
Yeah.
So he did really well with a certain group. His point was that Patrick Waugh is really good at instructing young players, and our team is so young that it fits more into his coaching style.
The other thing is, we have a good young goalie that needed a lot of mentoring, and Geoff is a great mentor, and he played most likely his last game of his career last night, and even though he lost, he's happy as can be. He played against the team that he played for 10 years. I mean, he was the goalie for the Ducks for 10 years, like in their prime. So it's good to see that goalie, and we just signed Varley for 5 years, and
so it's going to be a good 5 years.
It's going to be a good 5 years. I mean, he was well mentored by the an older goalie, and not to mention you have one of the best goalies in the history of the NHL as your head coach. So I mean, you better have a really good goalie on the staff because it's just the way it should be. So I watched a lot of hockey, and I have 2 playoff games I'm going to this week. I'm going to the first 2 games of the Avs playoff series. I'm really looking forward to that.
And that's going to be the Blues. Is it? Are they playing?
We're playing the Minnesota Wild.
Oh, okay.
Because the Blues are playing the Blackhawks.
That's right.
So my hope is that we take care of the Wild early. We get some rest time. We have home ice advantage for this because we went through in first place, which is very important.
Right.
So the first 2 games are going to be at home. And then, anything else. It's good times. What I hope is that the Blues and the Blackhawks just beat the snot out of each other and show up to the semifinals for the conference.
Bloody and bruised.
And it doesn't matter who shows up. The Avs hate both of those teams.
Oh, yeah.
So it'd be really nice to see them, show up already bruised and broken and get a little more bruised and broken.
Faux show.
Yeah. So that was good hockey this week. I very much enjoyed that. And yesterday morning, I got to check out some of Vikings, and it was just good. I like the show. I mean, it's gotten a little weird with the political intrigue, and I wish it was more the struggle of Ragnar Lothbrok a little bit more. I want to see him, in the British Isles a little bit more, but of course there's going to be political struggle when you're talking about kings and things. So
Yeah.
It's a good show, though. I'm still very much enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm one episode behind, but I'll definitely catch up this week. It's the danger of recording late one week and early the next.
Yeah.
Is that you don't
always
fit in
have
a
too
whole lot of
much
time
to talk about.
Yep.
So that's really all I've watched. Hockey, and Vikings.
Kick ass.
Yeah, it was. Jeffrey, what have you been watching?
Well, something I've really, really been enjoying, and I can't recommend enough, is Hannibal. It is just really good. And, you know, I've mentioned this a couple of times, how I don't understand how they're on network television. It's an NBC show. It is just as graphic as Dexter and Walking Dead. But it's, you know, it's a regular network show, and it just has a little, hey, this may be a little disturbing. But they don't have the language, I guess, of Dexter, and they don't have the I guess the nudity of Dexter.
And there definitely was nudity in Dexter.
Yeah, but as far as, you know, violence and gore, it's there. And I would say that there's a lot of things about Hannibal that are a lot more intense than Dexter, for sure, because those long scenes of, you know, it's probably 3 to 5 minutes, which is a long scene to have no dialogue. Scenes of Hannibal preparing meals out of things out of people.
Yeah.
You know, it's
watching people enjoy said meals.
But, you know, it's done so beautifully. I mean, the cinematography is amazing. It's done so beautifully that it makes you hungry. But then at the same time, you know what the people on screen don't know is that that's people.
That is Soylent Green right there.
Yeah, and I mean, this is not a spoiler for anybody who wants to get into it, but very recently, I think his episode before last, Hannibal prepared a meal for somebody that was comprised of part of their leg. And that person was fully aware that they were being served their own leg, and
Enjoyed the meal?
Enjoyed the meal anyway. So, you know, I don't want to spoil the situation leading up to that, but that was, you know, there's somebody who was paralyzed and couldn't feel their legs, but definitely a victim of Hannibal Lecter's, that he had sat at the dinner table and then put a meal of his own leg in front of him to eat. And he did. So, it's a very twisted show. But it's good. I mean, the acting is good. The suspense is good. And the writing's really good. So, you know, it's worth checking out.
I've watched a couple of the episodes, and I think I need to go ahead and just dive in.
Yeah, you need to start from the beginning, because it needs all of that. And this season is going to be the one where they actually arrest Hannibal Lecter. I think that's what they alluded to. There's a brief segment right at the beginning of the season premiere that shows that the gig is up. So I think that's how this season's going to end, is him being captured. So, like a little foreshadowing scene.
This is season 3?
2.
Season 2, okay.
Yeah. But really, really good. I'm also up to date on Game of Thrones, although I was kind of falling asleep during last night's episode because it was so late. So I may need to rewatch that one. But love it. Love that show. Jamie Lannister's a more interesting character now that he's minus a hand.
He gets more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is the He's the conflicted anti-hero kind of guy.
Yeah. So that's been interesting to watch. Stuff went down on last night's episode.
I haven't seen any of the season. I'm obviously very familiar with the stories because I've read the books multiple times. but-
Okay. So, don't listen for 5 seconds if you haven't seen the most recent episode, because I need to ask Jordan a question about how it gels with the book. Joffrey just got poisoned at his own wedding.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the same in the book.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Tyrion got blamed for it.
They blamed Tyrion for it. And did they follow through with what happens with that, or is that
No, that was it.
Oh yeah,
That was the end of the episode.
Yeah, that is not the worst of it.
Seriously, Tyrion handed him the cup. He was poisoned, and Cersei's like, "You did this," pointing at Tyrion, and they take Tyrion away. So, there's that. I think it was the old lady.
That
I don't think his mother-in-law.
They never really say who.
Really?
Not yet. Not that I remember. Yeah,
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, but it
So
would make
does
sense.
he continue? He gets full blame for this, and it's stuck with him.
He's still blamed for that. Yeah.
Wow.
Home dude is on the run for a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah. I see. Just from the show, the way that scene was shown, I took from it that it was his mother-in-law, his brand new mother-in-law. The new queen's mother.
And what's really cool is having the fact that George Martin is such a big part of the show. They show things that he doesn't quite talk about in the book. He might allude to them, but he doesn't always. And it's just like, oh, well, it tells you things that might be happening in the books later,
Right?
Because it's stuff I could talk about, like in the first season, maybe even been in the first episode, you see Varys talking with somebody that is working with Daenerys Targaryen, like the one that had been taking care of her, and Varys is talking about getting the rightful heirs to the throne back into Westeros. That's in the first season.
Varys is the eunuch?
Yeah, the bald guy.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting that you see that, because in the book it just refers to as two people that Arya Stark doesn't recognize. She just sees two men talking about it. But in the show, you see the two men and you recognize them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think Arya was in... No, she wasn't in this episode. She's in the first episode. She wasn't in the second.
That this is the...
she and the dog...
the Hound.
The Hound. She has reclaimed Needle from the
guards.
That group of guards.
Yeah.
They just offed like 12 guys.
So...
in the first episode, yeah.
I'll have to watch those. I haven't watched those yet. I need to put them on my DVR.
Yep.
I need to do that. Well, I can't remember what I was going to talk about. Oh, that's the way that they can save how much time they're spending is they're going to have to break books up into seasons now, and they're going to have to spend more time because all of these individuals from the first season are now broken into these much different storylines.
Yeah.
They're branching out into more and more and more and more, and they need to be following that. And they could do that if they they could do that better if they broke it down into more seasons.
Yeah. And they showed like exactly how broken who's the step kid? I forget his name.
Jon?
No, not Jon Snow. The other one that they got kind of as a hostage.
Oh. Theon Greyjoy.
Theon Greyjoy, yeah.
The one that was being tortured.
Yeah. They show how completely broken he is now.
Reek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As Reek.
Yeah.
So so they do a little bit of that But it's cool. You know, I enjoy watching it. I mean, that last scene definitely woke me up all the way. Cause
yeah. Like, this
wait,
is happening?
Is someone gonna do something? He's dead. There goes another main character. Although he needed to get got. I just assumed that he was going to stay around for a while because he needed to get got.
No, and it's very unexpected. You're like, oh, he's dead. Okay. It's very much like Ned Stark. Oh, they just chopped his head off.
Yeah.
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 All right.
See, I wouldn't have said that Tyrion did it. He had every reason to, but, you know.
That's how it is. He is
ha-
framed for it.
Yeah, and then he has to be framed for it because his nephew is a jerk, but he wasn't in that mindset to where he was going to have his nephew killed. That just wasn't where
he was always trying to teach his nephew how to be a better king.
Yeah. And so I don't know how that's going to resolve in the show.
Yeah.
Be interesting. Also watched some American Dad and Elementary and Inside Amy Schumer, which was very funny. The new season. So, season 2. Good stuff. Really enjoying that. I tried to watch some Saturday Night Live, but I fell asleep immediately. So, I didn't end up watching any of it. But that was about it. Jordan, did you get any playing in?
I did not.
Nothing?
No, I don't have anything to play.
I don't know that I played any Titanfall between then and now either. Mess around with a couple of games on my phone, but none of them are really entertaining me at all, so not worth mentioning by name.
Yeah, I just have my life filled with other things. I mean, I barely get any TV watching in, and I mean, granted, I get full night's sleep most nights, so I'm healthy.
Yeah.
But I just don't get a lot of other stuff. I mean, I'm in the best shape of my life, and I'm sleeping and working, and that's it.
Nice.
That's it.
I'm not in the best shape of my life, but I'm in the best shape I've been in probably for 10 years.
There you go.
So that's not bad. Not bad at all.
What are you looking forward to, entertainment-wise, over the next couple months?
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Most definitely. When does Destiny come out?
I don't even know what that is.
It's a new Bungie game.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that. Maybe. There's a new game coming out. I don't remember what it's called. Maybe get excited about a game. Probably not. I'd be excited to see if the Xbox One actually gets the Plex server update. That would make me happy.
Okay, yeah. That'd be nice.
But that's about it. Yeah.
I would say I'm excited about Days of Future Past.
Right. And when does that come out?
Sometime in May, I think.
Late May?
Maybe.
Probably not going up directly against Spider-Man.
No. But late May, early June or something like that. It could be later than that. I don't know. I am excited about that. I would say I'm excited about getting an Xbox. I honestly couldn't afford one right now.
No, and right now, I mean, we're still in early adopter area, and there's no hardcore reason to go out and get one right now. I mean, the games are decent. Titanfall's great, but as far as the features, they're not all there yet.
Yeah.
So yeah,
if I broke it down by how much I play, I mean, we would be talking about for the first year, I'd be paying $100 for every time I played it. It would seem like.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if I hadn't have made that deal with myself on release day, I may not have one right now either.
But you're glad you have it.
Oh yeah.
because it's a
I
great.
use it.
Yeah.
I definitely use it. I probably turn on my Xbox One
And in this
4 or
house,
5 days out of the week.
Yeah, and this house, well, if you don't turn it on, somebody else does in this
Right.
house. So
For sure.
it gets used.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up. I think that's a show.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a good show.
All right. Okay, love you. Bye.
Thanks, guys.